friends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside.
Welcome back to The Price of Business. I am your host, Kevin Price. It's Wednesday. That means I get to spend some time with one of the nation's, really one of the countries, one of the world's premier sales and communication experts with a company called Baker Communications, taking companies to the 21st century, often dragging them to the 21st century one company at a time because, change is a difficult thing, my friend. Good to have you, Walter.
Hey, thanks, Kevin. Glad to be back.
All right, what do you got lined up for us here today? I got to tell you on a daily basis because I'm part of a larger company and I work directly with the sales team that supports my media. I doubt very rarely, Walter, does a day go by where I don't say Walter Rogers says. Walter Rogers said, I swear to you, I'm not giving you merely props here. I promise you, on a daily basis now, I say Walter Rogers says. And, and it's like, they're like, wow, what is he, like Jesus or something? I tell you right now, when it goes to sales and for all the spiritual stuff, I'll go to Jesus. But for my sales and marketing and particularly my sales and my communication, customer service, I go to Walter Rogers. So good to have you on, my friend.
Hey, thanks, Kevin. And you're putting me in some pretty good company there with Jesus, but I really appreciate the introduction. I'm sure we're making lots of friends with your sales staff, too, along the way.
Oh, not always. They're like, wait a minute, that means change, and so, that gets scary, but you know what they do like? We implemented in just last month some ideas I pulled from you over the last quarter, and we had one of our best months last month than we've had all year. In fact, it was our best month, and it was a direct result of things you and I have been talking about. I'm listening, my friend. I'm listening closely.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you. I'm glad that I could contribute. And I got to tell you, I'm really excited about the next 11 segments that we're going to do. We've been working our way through a pretty methodical process. The first 12 shows, we really focused on customer relationship management systems and the importance of adopting those. And then the next 12 shows, we focused on sales management excellence and some best practices that sales managers should be exhibiting. And these next shows are going to be all focused on the sales professional and 11 characteristics that we have found that make the best sales professionals the best that they are. And we have some amazing guests lined up, Kevin. We've got literally some of the best sales professionals that are going to join us. We even have one rep that's going to join us that is the number one rep out of a organization that has 20,000 salespeople. And he's been number one for 2 years in a row.
Oh, I'm going to have fun picking that guy's brain. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah. It's going to be great. So really, really excited.
I got to be careful with that guy or that girl. You never know.
It is a guy. It is a guy, and he actually works right by you. He's maybe 2 blocks from your building.
I might have to take him out to lunch. So that'd be interesting. Very good. So you're going to bring him in the building, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll go out to lunch after the show. That'd be a lot of fun. All right.
That'd be great.
11 habits of highly successful sales professionals. You got to love this. Looking forward to this discussion. You can read more about this at HoustonBusinessDaily.com. This article, there's no way we're going to cover all the facts here. So what you want to do is you want to spend some time looking at the article. And what I like about it is that, Baker Communications, they look at your website and say, oh, my goodness, this company has clients all over the world, and it's a mega corporation and Fortune 500 companies, blah, 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 blah. What I like about it is that it translates well and has value to companies of all sizes.
Yeah, it really does. And the articles that we're putting up on the websites, we really boil down the essence of the message so that it does apply to, literally any sales professional. I mean, just look at the first habit we've got listed on here, right? Get in the habit of asking yourself, how can I help instead of what can I sell?
Yes, that's right.
How many times have you gone to buy something and you felt like that sales professional had no interest in you or your needs? None. All they wanted to do was score a commission check.
Yep, and you know what? You can sense that quickly, can't you?
You can sense it right away. People put out energy, and that's what I would call some negative energies, very self-serving energy. And you can really put customers off if you don't focus on them first. The second one really builds on the first, which is asking more questions and listening more carefully.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One of the key areas that most sales professionals really fail at. They just talk. They don't take any time to listen. And, of course, why? They don't care about their customer necessarily because they're focusing on what they can sell instead of how they can help.
That's exactly right. People, you know what? God gave you one mouth and 2 ears for a reason. They want you to listen twice as much as you talk. That's exactly right. I'm good to talk because I host a radio talk show and have for 20 years. But anyway, that's exactly right. How about number 3?
Yeah, and number 3 really bends on number 1 and number 2. If you're actually focused on how you can help the customer, and you focus on listening more carefully and asking more questions, then you can get out of the trap of selling based on price. Mm-hmm. And, you know, everybody wants to sell on value, not on price, but it's a pretty hard leap to make. And certainly if you don't even understand the pressure points that your customer is facing, then you're going to have a pretty hard time selling value.
Especially in this economy. People are really right now are even penny wise, dollar foolish. And they're doing some things that are really silly on a macro perspective, but they think they're saving money today. I tell you, I couldn't concur with you more. Companies that decide to get into the pure price proposition, man, they are looking for trouble because he who lives by price dies by price.
Yeah, at some point your price advantage disappears. And, you know, unless you're Walmart, who has obviously gigantic buying power and can sustain their price advantage for many, many years. You know, there's example after example of companies that have gone into a market specifically with the price strategy to be the low-cost provider. And, you know, as that strategy evaporates because other companies become just as strong as they are in the market, then all of a sudden they're left with what? Not much. Yep,
absolutely. Number 4.
Number 4, you know, being flexible and creative. Customers never seem to stay the same. There's always organizational change, market change, product change. And as a sales professional, being very flexible and creative to help their customers navigate through their changes, which can be very troubling, is one of the key skills.
Got it. Very important. Number 5, get in the habit of building relationships across the customer organization.
You know, how many times do you have a situation where a sales professional sells to the same person in an account over and over and over again, has a great relationship with that person, takes them to lunch, ball game, what have you. Then what happens? That person leaves.
Yep.
Now you've got a huge opportunity for competition to take that account away from you. So not only is it important to protect your account, to go wide and deep inside of the account, but it's also important to cross-sell services into other parts of the company. Because as Kevin, as you and I have talked about many times on this show over the last few months, it's much easier to sell to a customer you already have than to go and get a new one.
No question about it. There's much. I think they say, you know, and I don't know how they come up with this. To me, it seems a little subjective, Walter, but they say it's 4 times cheaper, in fact. And go ahead.
Yeah, it's substantially cheaper, and in fact, there's statistics that'll prove that the 10th purchase that a customer makes from you is actually 80% bigger than the first.
Wow.
So why would you want to just keep going and selling back in the same place? You've already built a relationship. Reputation's not the issue. Now it's your ability to create value inside of that account.
That's right. And by the way, one of my favorite mentors, man, like a second father to me, Mike Richards, always said the 3 most important words in business is relationship, relationship, and relationship. And I tell you, that's not only deep, that's broad as well, as you're pointing out here.
Yeah, and you don't build those by sending emails.
That's exactly right. Got to get to know people, and you don't get them merely making sure they have enough of what you sell. You know, it's, hey, how's things in general? How's the family? You know what? You should surprise your clients by contacting them just out of interest as them as human beings every once in a while. You know, you know, you don't have to become their best friend, but showing an interest beyond merely revenue.
And helping them achieve their personal and professional objectives. Because, you know, if you really have a sincere interest in helping people, and you don't expect anything in return, it comes back to you tenfold.
Get in the habit. Number 6. Oh, I'm sorry, Walter. Yeah. Get in the habit of setting goals.
Absolutely. If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. So setting goals, we'll talk specifically around some strategies for setting goals, the importance of setting goals. And there was a study done by Harvard some years ago, and they polled the students that were graduating from a class, and 3% of the students had set goals and 97% of the students had not. And the 3% of the students that did made more money than the 97% combined.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the importance of setting goals.
Very important. Go ahead.
Number 7.
Yep.
Honestly, measure your results. Of course, you can't do that if you don't have goals that you've set, but if you do, then you should definitely have some very specific metrics that you can measure along the way to show you whether you're on track or off track, which will help you obviously make adjustments along the way.
Absolutely. Very important information by my friend Walter Rogers. He is with Baker Communications and trying to pile through the list. I at least want to hit the highlights. You need to go to HoustonBusinessDaily.com, though, to go through the entire list. This list is crucial So it's huge. And, you know, again, all of them help a business of any size. That's what I find most beautiful about what this packaging is offering. What do you got next?
Number 8 is getting in the habit of cultivating commitment from your customer. We've already talked a little bit about how the 10th purchase is going to be 80% greater than the first purchase, so obviously continue to get commitment from the customer is important. And I'm going to speed up a little bit because I know we're running out of time. Maintaining a positive attitude is number 9. Selling is not easy. It is not for everybody. You've got to be able to hear no much more than you hear yes. No doesn't mean no. No means not now.
Yeah, no means maybe. I always tell people no is short for maybe.
Yeah, it's exactly right.
Yep.
Number 10, doing things with integrity. Now, I want to spend just a minute on this one. So, you know, integrity, customers can sense integrity. And integrity represents itself in many different ways. But it's, you know, boils down to doing the right thing and doing it right all the time. And so a specific example of where we've seen integrity come into play, which has turned really bad for the supplier, is a supplier that sells the same product to a large company at different price points because different divisions aren't talking to each other, so they can get away with higher margin in certain places than others, even though there's absolutely no difference in the product at all, and the volume is going up, which theoretically should lead to better pricing for that customer. You can get away with that for a little while. At some point, you'll get caught, and that's the fastest way to get kicked out of that account.
Yeah, no question about it. And the last one,
continually learning and developing your skills. As soon as you think you know everything, that's when you'll get in trouble.
That's exactly right. Great information from Baker Communications, Walter Rogers, and new and improved, rather sexy website, I might say, BakerCommunications.com. You need to check it out. Man, it is this. It was a decent site before, but now it's just amazing in terms of your ability to navigate. You can see the value, and I love it. You need to go there. Go to BakerCommunications.com. You can call them at 713-627-7700. At 713-627-7700. I strongly encourage you to check out the great works that they are doing there. And I tell you, I love what you got going on, man.
Hey, thanks, Kevin. I really appreciate it. These shows are a blast to do, and like I said, I'm really excited about this next series of 11. Can't wait to come on next week.
Well, we're looking forward to it, and you're doing a great job, and I see it in a difference in my company, the company we work with here, our sales organization, and I can personally testify for it. We had the best month in May since November, and it was a direct result of listening, and the best month since November. As a direct result of me listening really closely about what you're saying and implementing them and getting the sales manager to implement them as it related to our team. So people, I can see the direct value to what you do. So, you know, I noticed you got a testimonial page. You can throw me in that testimonial page.
We'd love to do that, Kevin. That's fantastic, and really just thrilled to hear the impact that we're able to have on your team. That's just phenomenal.
You bet. Walter Rogers is his name, and again, he's phenomenal. Baker Communications, and look forward to having him on again on Wednesday right here on The Price of Business. Stay tuned for more. I am Kevin Price on CNN 650.